Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina and our fabulous guests that we have here in our virtual studio.
Studio.
Tina, how
Good
you
morning.
doing?
Good morning. It is Friday. Whoop,
It
whoop.
is Friday. It is Friday. We have Aurea and Sal with us today. Happy Friday, ladies. Happy Friday.
Thank you. Thank you. You too.
The
All right.
weekend.
Aurea, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Cumming near Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta,
Hot
Georgia.
Atlanta.
Our Southern Belle in the house. How about you, Miss Sal? Tell
I
everybody where you're from.
I am from Charlotte.
We're trying not to be as southern as we were getting pretty twangy there for a couple
Yesterday,
minutes.
right? From Christine. We were getting a little twang.
Little twang,
A
little
little
twang.
twang.
But Sal, or Aurea, you said you're from New York, so
Yes, I'm a Yankee. I'm from New York, and everybody says, "Why don't you have the accent?" But I was brought up like in the city, so I wasn't around people with the accent. But I do talk fast, so my speed is my accent, and I've had to slow it down in the South.
Definitely. That's how I am too. I feel like I talk really, really fast. And so when you're in the South, you have to slow it down just a tad.
oh, see, we were just talking about when I was in London, and I felt like I had to slow it down, even when I was in London.
Really?
That they're just cadence is just
Mhm.
a little less rushed than us little Westerners,
What were you
right?
doing in London?
I spoke. It was a year ago. It was a year ago. I was at the Best U Expo with Bernardo Moya. Do you know
Okay.
him, Maria?
Ah,
You know the Best U Expo. They do it in LA,
okay.
and London.
Wow. What were you speaking on?
Media exposure. Right?
She's a
Okay,
media
that's good. Yeah.
exposure specialist.
Yes, yes. Aurea, you and I met at April's event last year
April, yes. Oh,
in
Asked me
Atlanta.
if I knew who she was. Do I know her?
April took over Spark and Hustle, and Tori Johnson had Spark and Hustle, who produced my very first Live Your Legacy Summit.
Oh, that's how I know her.
See how it goes.
There's always
April.
like a connection.
Yeah,
There is.
I was telling
Anyway.
Angel because she used your picture of your Emmy. And she was like, how many of you would like, to be an award winner? And I was like, how do you know her? I said, I know that girl.
It is a small world, that is for sure. Especially in our, where we're speaking and direct sales and media and all that. Yeah, we all know each other. We know one person.
And I said she does a You Live Your Legacy Summit every year, and I was one of her speakers for the first like 2 years or whatever, and ambassador and all this other stuff for her.
It is a small world. Roberto Candelaria introduced us. Aurea, do you know who he is? Do you remember who that is? Roberto. He speaks on sponsorships.
Oh,
no?
Roberto, yes. I've met him like once, I think.
Well, that's who introduced us. We met in Atlanta. And then from there, I went and spoke in London. And now a year later, we're all here on the same
Hey, then we can't get
show.
It all goes.
I just met Tina in San Diego in October.
Yep.
In October we met. Yeah. So and then
that's
how I got introduced to
off.
Sal.
Yeah, I can see that. And so how long have you been doing the show? Is that like an instant idea or?
We started the show. So right when the pandemics hit, I called Angel and I said, listen, all of my 18 speaking engagements that I was just now putting on my calendar.
She was just kickstarting her speaking career.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I called her and I said, they're all canceling. And she was like, yeah, mine too. I said, let's do a virtual summit. And so we started planning. I was in the Tampa airport heading to San Diego, and she was in Colorado, and she was like, let's do it. And 10 hours later, we announced that we are doing the Connect Virtual Summit. We had 28 speakers. We did it in 10 days. Over 1,200 people attended the virtual summit. And now we've just finished our 4th one. We're having our 5th one in June 23rd.
Okay.
And from that, our energy was just so amazing that there were, you guys should start a morning show. And so here we are starting a morning show into our 3rd month. We have done it every day, every weekday morning. And we've had over 80 guests, including Les Brown, Forbes Riley, Sharon Lester.
Forbes. All right, there you go. You know Forbes. Oh my gosh, another one of my dear friends from St. Pete. We live like 5 blocks away from each other in our house in St. Pete.
Really?
Do you?
Yeah, St. Pete. Forbes, when I did my St. Pete Libby Legacy Summit, she was my guest there, and in Orlando when I did my summit in Orlando. She's good people.
She is. Angel and I were just on her radio show yesterday.
I love
Was it
her.
yesterday? Yeah.
Ah, there I am. Where'd you find that picture?
She was like in my gallery.
Yeah, I think, is that your business card?
It was my business card. Yes, I have new ones now, but yes, that was my original business card.
Yeah, I had a picture of your business card that you gave me in Atlanta,
Oh, that's
and that was I actually used it as a meme and said, you know, what award would you love to give?
Oh,
And that was
that's
the
great.
picture that Tina. I was just
like,
looking for it in my phone. I'm like, I know I have it in my phone. I'm like, where is it at? Where's it at?
I told her, I was like, hey, how do you know her? She goes, Tina, this is a thing for you to say what award you want to win. I'm like, but I know this girl.
Well, I teach my clients, know what your highest award is in your industry, in your company, whatever, and go for it. And if nothing else, if you don't win the highest, if you're not the number one or whatever, you're winning along the way and you're doing more excellence and reaching up higher than you ever thought you could. So give it a whirl and go for it, because every company, every industry has levels that you can reach, awards you can win. Go for them, because they're great for the accolades. They're great for people saying, oh, I want to go to your event. I want to tap into you because you're doing what you do with excellence. So absolutely. And what I really love about it is when I won the Emmy, they had already taken out my vocal cord nerve for my cancer. The doctors already said I'd never speak again above a whisper, that would be impossible. And, they took out half of both my lungs and all that stuff. It was just hard, and chemo almost killed me. So I'm a 48-year-old woman winning my little girl dream of having an Emmy Award. And it was for a show I did on nonprofits, having animals as my co-stars, which is my passion, my life. So I was hugging bears and lions and tigers and snakes and everything, and winning that. So when I got on that stage and I won, I was able to say to women, especially women over 40, what's stopping you from your dreams coming true? What's stopping you from not giving up on your exactly what you need to be today, whatever age you are, whatever size you are, whatever stuff you've gone through, with hair, without hair. I was bald twice, and then I did this. So I was not feeling pretty. I had having wigs on, but I did it anyway. And I give women hope that you can do whatever you've been called to do, and stop trying to wait. You think you have to be a certain way or perfect or like somebody else. Go for it. So it gives women hope. So I shine the light on other people with the Emmy, especially women, saying you can do it too.
You can do it too. And what a great story. What a great inspiration, right?
And I see something behind her.
Me?
What is behind you? You have a microphone behind you.
Oh, I got lots of stuff behind me. Yes. Okay, let's see.
We have the same microphone.
Let's all put up our microphones.
You could be part of our girl band.
All right, we need to get Sal one. Sal, we need to get you.
I'm just looking at the commonalities. You guys, I see all of you drinking out of these mugs, and I know you will laugh.
She doesn't know what's in the mug. Wait a minute. No.
Yeah, you don't know what's in these, baby.
You're drinking out of our mugs.
Are you drinking out of a shot glass, Sal?
She usually drinks out of her pint, her little.
Oh.
She's not a coffee drinker.
I'm not a coffee drinker.
I'm not a coffee drinker either. You don't know what's in here.
I did try drinking I do try drinking coffee with Tina periodically, and she laughs at me because I guess I don't drink coffee like other people drink coffee.
No, because look at can I
do it. Go ahead if you can find it.
Look, this is how she drinks coffee.
It's hot.
She's like,
I'm a loud sipper, and my coffee, when I do drink it, is pretty white.
She has a little coffee with her creamer.
Perfect.
Nothing wrong with that. It's a vehicle, right? It's a vehicle to get my sugar.
There you go.
Because I sit there and I have my coffee, and she's like, I want to have coffee with you. I'm like, you don't like coffee. And she'll go get her coffee. She gets the leftover of my coffee from my Keurig machine. And I'm like, you got to get a new K-cup. And she's like, no, I don't.
This is plenty.
It's not even coffee. It's like watered down.
My coffee looks like tea.
That's all right, Sal. Right, that's all right. We each get to do us.
Right.
I never drank. I didn't drink coffee until I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't
Actually,
either.
I
couldn't
didn't
believe started-
either until I was 31 years old. I started drinking coffee.
Yeah, it was late. I was a late coffee bloomer, but it was a friend of mine had bought an espresso machine, and she would practice making these lattes, and she would, sample them. I would sample them, and
And you're like, no, I don't like that one. Oh, but I like this one.
right, we finally found, like, she had this little syrup combination mix, and then they put a little coffee bar in our church, and it was the same woman who ran the coffee bar at the church, and so you could get a little punch card and do your donations and get your coffee. And
You know what was the funny thing is I used to run the coffee bar at our church too.
did you?
Oh my
It
gosh.
was such an exciting thing when they put the coffee bar in at church. Like, it was a brand new, like, concept,
Right?
because everybody was stopping, to get their coffees before coming to church. And so they created the coffee bar at church.
Smart.
The wine, that thing was so popular. We were so excited.
It turned you.
That's
I
funny. Yeah,
saw-
and I was a late coffee drinker too.
Yeah, well, it happened after, when I got into years ago when I was in Mary Kay, we always went to interview and we're working and it was always for coffee. Let's meet for coffee. Well, let's meet for coffee. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I went from being, college student in the drinking. You're not going to meet for drinks all day long because sometimes you'd have 10 interviews in a day. I'd be drunk by noon. So it was coffee. And before you
So
know
now we really know what's in her coffee mug
told you, but it's actually Irish coffee after 5.
with Irish Kahlua in there.
Not today, but the only type of the coffee I do, if I love putting the Irish, the Kahlua and stuff like that, I make an Irish coffee, but maybe once a year I have that. So I'm just straight up coffee, and I like mine black with a little stevia.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, when I'm healthy, right, then I'll drink my coffee. Yeah, I'll drink my coffee black when I'm being healthy. But since I've been home, it's not been. I think I have gone through more creamer during this time. Like, I
Right?
need another one. Like, this one's empty again. This one's empty again.
Okay, so what kind of creamer do you use?
It's French vanilla.
I like
Okay.
those.
I'm a hazelnut person.
Oh, hazelnut. That's the kind of coffee I have, the K-cup hazelnut.
I do too. Yep, I do
Of
too.
course you do. We have the microphone and the hazelnut and the
Yep.
French vanilla cream.
Yeah.
I make my son hot chocolate, and it's the mommy special because I put a splash of vanilla creamer in his hot chocolate, and it is yummy. Right?
That's so
Like,
funny.
mm.
When Stella and I go to Starbucks, she's like, "What do I want again?"
She's like, tell me something on here that I can order. What would I
Size,
like?
a medium size with
She was like, "Can I get the medium?" And I said, "You can't say medium at Starbucks."
Oh, I know. I've done that.
Amateur.
It kills me.
You amateur.
Amateur,
cup of coffee.
The lights flash.
amateur, 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 amateur.
So you can order tea. Do you ever order the tea at
No, I'm
Starbucks?
a water drinker.
You're a water drinker. They make this drink when you're not feeling good called a medicine ball. Have you ever heard of the medicine ball?
What? No.
Mm. Oh, it's yummy, right? So it's green tea, but instead of water, it's steamed lemonade. Oh, sorry. It's a green and peppermint. So it's a blend. So a green tea and a peppermint, and it's steamed lemonade instead of steamed water. So you get the lemon and you get the mint and you get the green tea with honey. Oh.
So do you go in there and say, "I'm not feeling good. What do you got?"
I'm not feeling good. Do you know how to make a medicine ball? And they're like, yep, we do.
Wow.
Yeah.
But now, if you're not feeling good, you're not allowed to be in there.
I know.
Well,
right?
yeah,
Like-
now, right?
And they're
Yeah,
like,
now they're like,
Right. Better send somebody else in for you.
"Ma'am, can you go through the drive-through, please?"
Yeah, really. Well, they're not gonna
Yeah.
touch you. They'll be like,
Yeah. get away, right? But it because of the lemon and the honey and the peppermint, it is like,
What if they put turmeric in it? Because I have turmeric tea, and it's really good for anti-inflammatory. So we've been drinking that, like putting that into our tea. Because I drink tea at night, because I can't drink coffee, a lot of coffee at night, and I can drink herbal tea at night. But if I drink tea in the morning, it makes me nauseous. So it's
oh.
Really?
So
I
we
drink
have, Aurea,
forget it.
we have the IASO tea, which is that anti-inflammatory tea. It's all these herbs and yummies. Like, it's
Ooh.
very mild, but it's all anti-inflammatory tea.
Okay.
What did I put
I'm gonna
on?
ask you ladies a question.
Okay.
when you do this wonderful banter, we're having a conversation, you're mentioning all sorts of cool things that I'm going to say, oh, I want you to send me a link. I want that. Do you have like a Facebook page for this where you can put links in from your discussion that viewers and yes, can
So
tap into?
after the show, we go back and make all the comments and put all the links in on all the fun stuff that we talked about, because we don't always know going into it what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So
right?
People watching, so if you're watching, write down these links so I can come back later and I can look, because that all sounds really good.
Right.
Yeah, so we put the links in. We also, Tina posts it up on her YouTube channel. We had to dust off. Neither of us were using YouTube really. And
I was the same way. Yeah.
You gotta have a place to house this. And so we put the links and all the fun stuff. Yeah, after the conversation, because it's unscripted. We started this just to be that bright start to people's mornings during the quarantine. Thought we would only do it for 2 or 3 weeks, and now it has been over 2 months. We're now in our 3rd month, like Tina was saying, and it has grown, but it's still just a couple of friends getting together for coffee in the morning. We bring on fabulous guests, and it has turned into really our daily routine.
Right. And people text us, where are you?
Yeah, exactly.
How come you're not on air?
That's what I started a Friday coffee and collaboration call when this first started, because I think the first thing all of us, especially Tina, we network, we hug, we love on each other. We've got 5 or 6 networking events every week that we go to. All of a sudden, we have to stay home. It's like, no, it's definitely us extroverts are not okay. What do you mean we have to look at these walls? What am I doing? Where am I going? So I started Coffee Connection as well. And we started just, brainstorming ideas. And before you know it, everybody's running off with new ideas that really work. But I like your idea of making it a watch party. So that's fun too.
Yeah. And then that way people can, they just get a bright start to your day. You get some laughter. I don't think there has been a time where we haven't laughed so much. We laugh every single time we have these shows. So
that's great.
It's a nice start to our day.
And it's not so bad. You put on makeup and everything from the top up, and you're in your jammies, your bottoms down, you're good to go.
Well, listen, and Angel and I have this thing because we haven't put on regular pants in 3 months.
It's going to be dangerous.
And we've been wearing yoga pants.
Me too.
So now, Angel, I have the good yoga pants, my day yoga pants and my night yoga pants. And they used to all be night yoga pants. And now I have good day ones and good.
How are you guys doing sitting so long and having the COVID-19, the COVID-15, they call it now?
Right.
It is. So the other night I was getting ready for bed and I changed into my jammies, and Jay looked at me. He's like, how is that different than what you just took off?
You're like, well, those were my daytime yoga pants. These are my nighttime.
You look pretty much exact, like you didn't even change. He's like, is that different? How is that different? I'm like, day jammies, night jammies.
You tell them, honey, they're clean, okay?
He did. He's like, wait a minute, that looks the same.
We definitely haven't worn more lingerie.
Yeah, I know, right? 27 years. There's not a lot of lingerie.
I know the feeling, almost 25.
Right. But I have worn yoga pants or leggings or sweats every day. And bare feet. I was supposed to go to Vegas. I was going to be speaking at a small event this weekend. And I was practicing wearing my high heels around the house the other day.
She gets on and she's like, look what I have on.
Did you see my post on Monday? I hosted Atlanta Live for the first time in the studio in over 3 months. It was my first time wearing heels. So I brought them with me, put them on when I got there. So I didn't have to worry about stumbling around on them. But I wore my most comfortable ones to start. Easing my way back into
That's what she said. I got to ease my way back in. I haven't worn heels in 3 months. And Aurea, I'm always in heels. Always.
We don't remember. Yeah. Our feet don't remember. Yeah. I've gotten very comfortable. Like at first, it's the anxious and unknown and a little bit of freaking out. But I've gotten it very comfortable with just being at home, and it's very familiar. And
well, I loved that it was like, when we go to the TV studios, we're always rushing. We got Atlanta traffic. And when you were saying, come in a few minutes early, I'm like, okay, a few minutes early, can I go rush? Oh, I had to rush and get all the way downstairs on time. I loved it. Tell my husband, I don't know if I can handle the traffic. Tina wants me on a few minutes early, so everybody out of my way.
Yeah, you can't say. I couldn't tell you when we lived in Atlanta that can you come a few minutes early?
In Atlanta, I come an hour early. Yeah. Any TV show, I do.
You live 2 hours away,
Yeah. I live an hour. I live 45 minutes away, but that's with no traffic. So I give myself an hour and then another hour. So then when I'm there, I don't like to rush in. One time on my book tour, I was in Houston or Austin, and I had 2 TV morning news shows I had to be to. And this was so funny. My publicist had booked me back to back, but the night before I did a run through. They weren't too far away. It was traffic. I think it was Houston. I'm not used to it, but it was during the week. So we did a run through. Okay, this one's here. How long does it take to get the next one? Calculate in traffic. So I left like at 4 a.m, but it was pouring rain when I got up. And so I did the first one, then I get in my car and I go to the next one, and it's parallel parking, one spot right in front of the news station. I'm like, I'm a New Yorker. I don't parallel park. I didn't drive till I was 19. So, and it's pouring rain, like great, no umbrella. And I'm about to be on the news show. And I have like 5 minutes to spare before my time is up. So I was like, okay, Lord, here we go. And then thank God there was a spot right in front. So there was no car in front of me. Pulled in, run into the studio, look like a little wet rat. Get in, like, you're on, come on. Ever since then, it was like, I never want that to happen again. But it was the best interview from the entire tour because the host was so amazing. He was so good. He was so invested in my story. We were talking about my cancer and my domestic violence. And he was like, oh my God, he leaned in. He made me feel great, but I looked my worst. I was like, I give everybody hope. It's okay. Those interviews were happening. They still can be the best thing you ever did. But it was funny. So now I'm always there way in advance, like a day early.
Okay, so I have to tell you about, and I pulled up your bio, Sal, so we could start introducing you and let everybody know. But I'll tell this quick little story since you told your wet rat story of,
yes,
right? I was driving downtown Denver. I'd gotten gotten in the car, and it was like so cold in the morning. So I'm all bundled up in like my jacket and my scarf and gloves and everything. And I'm driving downtown, and it's now warm in the car, and I'm in traffic, and I'm like trying to like take my clothes off, right? Because now I'm sweating in my own car because I'm overdressed and I've got the window down, and I had just gotten a 5-speed transmission. Yeah. And
we'll help her.
Everyone when I was a kid, but I didn't know how. And so I get downtown, and it's pretty much flat, and I'm on this hill, and I hit a red light, and of course I'm on a hill, and
it's snowing.
No, it's freezing cold outside, but I'm hot in my car because I'm all bundled up, and I now had been in the car for 45 minutes wearing jacket, and I'd taken the scarf off, and you're trying to take stuff off, but now I'm freaking out because I can't get up the hill and around. I've got to make a left turn, and I'm nervous. And so I get inside, and I'm ready. We're going to do this TV interview, and I go in the bathroom to, wash my hands and all that stuff. And I take off my jacket, and I had sweated through my shirt. I was wearing this like raspberry color.
Oh, no.
And it was just ick.
Oh,
so I'm like walking around trying to dry it off.
Mine's being Julie Roberts and Runaway Bride.
Right. And so I go in to meet them, and I'm keeping my arms down. I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. Keeping my hands down so they can't see it. It was one of those terrible. God. It worked out all right, but you feel like your absolute hottest.
So were you on TV?
Yes.
And did you go back and look and say, can you see my sweat?
It had dried, right? It had dried. I should have taken pictures of it, but yeah. Now, if you ever see it, I'll show you. You can only see in the scene, like you don't see the whole thing. So it was fine. It was fine by the time it was all good. But I took my jacket off, and you could see.
This is the things that women have to go through on a daily basis. For you men out there who are watching.
It's funny that they don't care. They got
wear a t-shirt under their, shirts to collect all that, right? All right. Well, let's get to know our fabulous guest just a little bit better. I've got Sal Harper's bio. I'll read that. She's a veteran, a digital marketer, a successful entrepreneur. She's transitioned from applying the principles she's learned through studying with some of the world's top mentors and gurus to becoming an infidelity recovery specialist. Her specialized training in relationship trauma and porn addiction makes her an expert in her field. For the past 7 years, she's been coaching one-on-one with clients, facilitating a support group to help women understand the bondage that sex and porn addiction has on their partners. Her mission is to help millions of women overcome the pain of infidelity, to create healthy boundaries, and restore confidence and a positive self-image. Sal, we're so excited you're here with us today.
Yay!
So glad to be here.
You are so beautiful and so charming. And yet when I read your bio, I mean, it's a pretty heavy topic.
Right?
How do you stay so light when that's the world you live in?
I was just telling Tina that because we were really kind of just laughing about it, and that is really kind of my principle, to learn with laughter, because it's such a morbid topic. I mean, nobody wants to talk about this kind of stuff, and it's kind of one of those hush hush topics. Women suffering in silence, they keep their little secret behind closed doors and put on this mask when they're out and open, pretending that they're happy and pretending everything is okay, while inside, no, it's complete chaos and turmoil. So the specialized training that I do is just really kind of a different perspective, making light of the situation. Of course, there's nothing light about the situation, but when we don't come out of that, I guess, mindset, then we kind of start to be in our own toxicity kind of a deal. And women are never going to heal until they get out of that mindset. So that's
what made you get into this field?
I don't like to talk about this part. This is why I don't go on these shows. I don't like to talk about me. I actually got into this field by default. I had gone through it in my own marriage and really was an internet marketer. I was happy doing what I did, was an e-commerce store, very successful at it. And it was actually a calling, something that I fought tooth and nail, to be in this field. And yeah, it took a few months before I realized, no, this is where I need to be. This is what I should be doing, is helping women, because I came out of my healing in such a unique way that when I tell people how to do it or instruct them, they're like, oh my goodness, I never thought about this. Is incredible. It's so different than what my therapist has done with me. And I've been in counseling for a few years, and what I've learned with you in just a few months, oh my goodness, puts them far, that far ahead. And so many times people are like, you ought to do a business. And I was actually asked by one of the ladies who had originally been facilitating this support group. She asked me if I would come in and be that facilitator, because she was getting into another field. Her business was blowing up. And I said, no, I can't do it. I can't relive it. I don't want to be a part of that anymore. But a very strange thing started happening. I started seeing the signs. I mean, the most obscure signs about porn addiction and how, sexual trauma is in your life. And just the signs were just weird. And then, interestingly enough, I was making about $12,000 a month in my e-commerce store. And then all of a sudden, over the course of the next couple of months, my sales started going down and going down and going down. I was like, what's going on? And then another sign would come out, porn addiction. And I'm like, well, maybe I should be listening to what, he says. And so I went back to my friend and I said, you know what, if nobody has filled that spot, I think I'd like to try it out and do it. So that's how I kind of got into it. And it just snowballed. And it just started to grow. And then now I am transitioning online. I am wanting to reach women across the country, across the nation, and across the world, because this is not a topic that is immune from anybody. Everybody goes through that at some point in their life. They've had a boyfriend or their first marriage, and they've experienced infidelity. And now, because porn addiction is now so prevalent in our country, there are so many people that are affected by it. And it's still one of those topics that people don't talk about. So here I am to talk about it.
Well, God bless you, Sal, for what you're doing. Do I imagine, and now we're doing it online, but do you have like women that are like, hey, shh, can I tell you something? Like how, like, is,
like, you're not going to say, For those of you who have suffered, raise your hand, because we're not going to, but you're going to go to the bathroom and they're going to be like, so me too. What do you suggest?
They don't even say that. They're like, they come to me as hope. They're like, there's actually a place where we can go to heal and not do it ourselves, or look for something online that's not online. So the first response that I get from a lot of women is a sigh of relief, like, oh, I'm not alone. I have a Facebook group, a private Facebook group that I have all of these women be a part of, because that's what they're looking for, knowing that they're not alone, knowing that they're a part of a community that has suffered with other women. So that is the first thing that people come to me for. They're just like, oh, Sal, me too. How can I get in this group? And so, it just kind of goes from there. And there is a process. People want instant results. They want to stop the pain, but it's not that easy. It's not that simple.
How do people get in touch with you or refer a friend to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've made it easy for everyone. They can just go to
a friend.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for
I have this girl, and she knows her whole entire story, and she does this and she does this. What do you suggest she do?
Well, the first thing I would suggest is that she get connected with me by going to my website, salharper.com, and just opting into I have a freebie, I guess you would call it, 10 ways to eliminate emotional triggers. Because what ends up happening in our situation, we become triggered by the names of people, a phrase, a restaurant, a city, right? Wherever it may have happened. And when you download that PDF, then we can stay in contact. And in that initial email, I send an invitation to join our group so you can meet other women in the same situation. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. That's so valuable, right? The triggers, right? Because we can't change others, but we can change how we respond. Yes. And react to everything that's going around us. In fact, I saw somebody today. I have like a little group of friends that have all decided they're all going to get off of Facebook because it's just too depressing. Mm-hmm. But then I have another friend. She's like, remember, you get to control the narrative. Right? You get to control what you see, what you look at, what you read, what you comment on.
And then what you post. You can change.
Yes, it will change. Right? If you want to see more puppies, talk about puppies and click on puppies, right? Like you get to control the narrative. And I think that's a big piece, Sal, of what you're talking about. Like we get to control how we react and how we respond. And that we don't have to we don't have to hide. I guess that's a big
But
thing.
It's easier said than done. Yeah, it's so many people, I tried this, I tried that, and I get it. And it's difficult. If anybody has been in a situation, you can't just turn it on and off. You can't turn off the crying or the pain or the thoughts. And that's really what keeps us stuck in our situation, is the thoughts that we keep going through our mind, right? We keep reliving over and over again how you found out, or who this other person is, or if there's something wrong with me that caused my partner to stray.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do. We take on, right, all that responsibility and shame and guilt and pressure, and yes. Well,
so on the lighter side, there is hope. There is a way. You don't have to be stuck in that pain.
Look at how beautiful you are when you say that.
You're so sweet. I light up, right? I'm really excited about it because I will tell you, I fought for a really long time. I started doing the support group and I used to come home just cussing and just like, why am I doing this? I don't want to hear this again. And I'm done with it. And, but slowly, just things started happening. And really it was kind of a wake up call when I started mentoring with Danelle. Right? Danelle Delgado, you had her on the show a few weeks ago. I started mentoring with her, and I had a kind of a heart-to-heart discussion with her, and I was picking her brain about some things. And she said, Sal, let me ask you a question. Why are you doing this in like baby steps? I told her, well, I'm doing these baby steps. I'm doing this first, and I'm doing this fast, and then this next, and I'll get there. And she said, wait a second, what? why are you taking baby steps? Who told you to take baby steps? And I'm like, well, I don't know. But I realized I have been teaching Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University for the past 13 years, and he talks about taking baby steps to get out of debt, right? And that has been so ingrained because I've been teaching it for 13 years. I was like, oh, you know what? It's just been instilled in me. She says, no, you have got to get out there and you have got to explode. There are
Take
women
leaps
out
and
there
bounds.
with leaps and bounds. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I have been growing and really facilitating how to reach the mass market. So she's
You
been
have definitely leaped this year, Sal.
yeah,
You have
so she's
definitely
been
leaped.
strategic in helping me do that, and I owe her a debt of gratitude for that.
Is
but
she having her retreat this weekend,
She
Danelle?
is.
Because
Is
I
it-
think Heather
I
Dye.
just seen it on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw Heather Dye was flying to Colorado,
Yep.
and I thought, I bet you I know why Heather's coming to Colorado.
Right?
So I was thinking that was happening this weekend. Yeah, it's
I
small
have
world.
a hair in my face and I can't get it out.
That happens to me, right? I get these little hairs.
I'm
I hate
like-
it when they get in my shirt.
You're like,
Yeah.
another woman problem, right?
Long
on
hair.
your
Yeah.
pants with long hair, right? It kind of gets stuck in the underwear.
Yes, yes, and then it it moves and then it like tickles.
Oh, this is a whole different show now.
It's like-
This show, Aurea, this show goes from here to here in a hot second.
I see that.
All right, well, let's get to know Aurea a little bit better. She's an Emmy award winning. You see that fabulous little trophy award right behind her shoulder, an Emmy award winning TV host. I met her just in a we crossed paths
There you go.
at an event, and I was just so enamored by her. I took a picture of her business card and I carry it in my phone because she's carrying her award, her Emmy, and that is like figure out the award, the top award in your industry and go for it. But she's an award-winning, we'll just keep saying that, Emmy award-winning TV show host, producer, director. She's also the founder of Aurea McGarry Productions and the Live Your Legacy Summit. She's the host and creator of her own Success Talk show. Success Talk is the name of the show, currently on YouTube. Contributing lead TV host for Atlanta Live on WATC TV.
It's a mouthful. I know. People know me. It's fine.
She's a professional speaker. She is a coach. She's an event MC. She's a charity auctioneer. She is part of Atlanta Live. She's been on the 700 Club, Daytime NBC, Fox 5, audience in the millions. She is just an absolute rock star. Aurea, I'm so glad you're here with us today.
I'm so glad to be here too. And I just want to give everybody hope. My passion is to give women, especially women over 40, hope that you can do whatever you were called to do. So my accolades are just saying you can do it too, because I'm not anything that you're not. I'm just who I need to be. You all need to be who you need to be and be your greatest. And I was loving what you were saying, baby steps. What are baby steps? Go for it. Step out in faith. Do what you feel like that you're called to do. And if something doesn't work, okay, pivot, move. Because I want to be totally used up when I die. I want to have tried everything that I thought I was supposed to try every one of my talents that I think I need.
Aurea nugget. I want to be totally used up when I die.
Totally used up. I want to have done it all. I don't want to sit being old and not thinking, God, I wish I had tried that. Or I felt I was called to do that, but never stepped out, was always afraid. I was waiting for the green light. Your green light is if you're feeling that I need to be doing this. That's your green light to whether it's going to be a learning experience and you feel like it was a fail forward to success moment, which we need those, or whether you succeeded beyond your wildest dreams, like I did in this particular instance. I would have never known I could have won these awards or done this or told these stories unless I listened to that small voice, which I believe, because I've, just believed it was God's voice that said, go for it. And there was no green lights. There was no business plan. I just felt in my spirit, I need to be doing this. And then my husband agreed at the time. I was like, yeah, go for it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Don't, mortgage your house or anything for something like that, but take some free baby steps. And that way, step out, get your toe wet, and then go for it. You'll know if it's right or wrong once you start going, because how God says, put your hand to do and I will bless it. That part that you have to put your hand to do is step one. You can't sit back and say, oh, Lord, Lord, help me, help me, help me, but not say, okay, let me try this.
Now you absolutely have to take action. You have to take action. It's funny that Sal, when you talked about the baby steps, we used to teach Financial Peace University through our church. And it was all about baby steps. And there are times where just, I think we want to, don't beat yourself up. Like if you don't feel like you've gone very far, because you've taken some steps, but we should be leaping, right? Because there's so much opportunity. Aurea, what was the biggest leap that you think you took?
Oh, I've been leaping all my life. I'm a leaper.
Lord's a leaping, right?
I'm a leaper and a Libra. Wait a minute. It was absolutely that day that, most people know my story. If I had cancer in 99 and they took out my vocal cord nerve and told me I'd never speak again above a whisper, it would be impossible. Back then I was in direct sales. I was driving free pink Cadillacs. My voice was everything. I was teaching. And it was before the internet and before email, way before texting. So all we could do to communicate was voice. But long story short, I wrote a book and then really felt that calling after the book tour, being back on the news. I used to be an actress and did soap operas when I was in New York City. I did The Edge of Night. So acting and being on the stage was in my blood, but I never was nurtured in that business because it's so cutthroat and I don't want to get the job because you have to lose the opportunity. So that part I never liked. I'm a cheerleader. I want everybody to get the part. Well, that's not happening in show business. So I really felt I was about in my 40s. We were here in Georgia. And I really felt now after the book tour that I was supposed to be the voice now for good news and charities. I want to use my acting and my expertise because I was trained. I went to New York Academy of Theatrical Arts and to the Fame High School. So I loved that. It was in me. And I wanted to use that talent now, the voice I should not have, to tell good stories about good people. And to me, that's nonprofits. And nobody was telling their stories. So long story shorter, my husband said, I want to tell good stories. And we did. And I just, the right people came along, told their stories, used the Cumming Playhouse when I started. So I did 22 episodes in 1 year. I mean, full production. I got the high school guys to come in to do the videography. Ended up where the last one that I did was at Noah's Ark with 3 NBC camera guys because I ran into an anchor who had 9 Emmys and it just all came together. But if I had waited till I knew that Emmy winner to do that 20-second show, wouldn't have happened. I had to do all these little steps to get to, I have a show for you to do. And then it turned into I found out about the Emmys. I found out about all the awards, the Telly Awards, the Davy Awards. But that just built my accolades, to build my prestige, so people wanted to be on the show, so I could get more people to know about the nonprofits in our community that are doing great things. So the spotlight has a purpose. It's not look at me, it's look at who the story I'm telling about. So I wanted to do for nonprofits what Oprah did for books. If I talk about it, show it, people start giving or looking or saying, wow, I didn't know that was here. So I wanted to be that spotlight.
Our stories, these things that we think are seemingly random, right? These opportunities that show up, and you show up at an event or you do a thing, you meet a person. When you look back, and I heard somebody describe it as a mosaic. If you think about, these pottery mosaics, it's a bunch of broken pieces of glass, right? Broken pieces of pottery, right? But it put those little pieces of broken pieces of glass into this beautiful design.
I love that analogy.
But our life is like this random moment, this connection, this introduction, this, right? And then you think, okay, how is this all going to come together? But when you look back, I couldn't have got here. That door was opened by this step, by this step, by this step, by this step. And even the introduction of the 4 of us coming together. We've all been together individually
for a while.
Some point, right? And now here we are all on the same place, like our worlds collide, and now we move forward in a whole new harmonious way.
Well, and that's how you and I met. We met at a disastrous event in San Diego. in San Diego, and we kind of like bonded over that. And here we are, 8 months later.
Last night I was chatting with a woman who I met last January. And I told her, I said, the morning coming to go to that event, I woke up and I was grumbling. I'm like, what am I doing? And getting up at 5 a.m. I'm driving, an hour and a half away to speak to this little bitty group that, like, why am I putting myself through this? And of course, when I left, I knew meeting her was exactly why I needed to be there. Right. And that was my, that was my win in that
Everything happens
moment.
for a reason.
But it
Yeah.
came from the seemingly random introduction that had happened.
Yeah.
So I was recounting that story to my husband last night. Had I not done that I didn't really want to do, right? And it opened up this other opportunity that I also didn't really want to do. And now, I mean, it's been a year and a half almost later where you start to really see it. It's like, wow, had I not had faith, taken action,
And stepped
showed
out.
up and was committed, right? Because we have to be consistent, right?
Yeah.
In moving forward. We're not always in the mood. Right? You went on TV, even though you had just come through in the rain. Like, there are probably women that would have refused to go on camera after walking through the rain.
Yeah.
And you had faith, right? You stepped in.
I have faith that I'm not vain at all. It is what it is. Here I am,
Aurea, I have a question from one of our audience members. They want to know what scripture that was that you were using with the about God bringing your hand out and him blessing it.
I'm not really good knowing what scripture was, but you can Google it. It's God says to put your hand to do, and I will bless it. I guess we could Google that. I've just always used it. I always forget which scripture that is. Forgive me. Memory's not what it used to be. But I've always loved that one because being in direct sales and being an entrepreneur for so long, it's always about the do part. I'll do my part and God does the rest. And I've just always lived my life like that since becoming, a stronger Christian in my early 20s. It's all about, I'll do what I can, but thank God God does the rest because there's so many miracles in my life. And I like saying, you have to be in the right place at the right time, but I add to that with the right experience. You can't expect miracles by being, I don't want to say lazy, but just saying, okay, just do it all. You have to have that right training. Like for me to start TV, I had the training, I had the upbringing, I had the experience. I'd been on stages, all that was there, just wasn't using it. And you may use your gifts and talents differently than you thought. Like I wanted to be a rich and famous actress. I wanted to be on Johnny Carson's couch. I wanted the show business since I was like 4 years old. But I'm using all the talents and all the training I had in New York City to do something even better. That's my calling. That you ladies were talking about the mosaic. I wouldn't have won the Emmy or done this without my cancer battle first, because my whole mission and using my voice is because of losing it from cancer.
Yeah.
I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma on my birthday in 1999. And they took out half of my lung, both my lungs, lining around my heart, disconnected half my diaphragm, and took out that vocal cord nerve and told me, you cannot. Okay, well, don't tell me I cannot.
Watch me.
Watch me, right. And I love that God says the impossible means I'm possible, not me, him. So, but I didn't even have the idea of a TV show when I was on the gurney and the tubes were coming out of me. But I knew that my life wasn't by any means over. It was just beginning, like this COVID-19, like everything that we're going through. It's not over. It's going to be different and it can be greater because people come together when you have hard times. People come, like Sal was talking, your life is just different, it's more meaningful. And when Sal was talking too, we all need each other. I don't care what trauma you've been through. My dad was murdered by the mafia when I was 15. We didn't have the internet. I didn't have any groups or Facebook groups in the 70s. Wish I did. So I just buried it, went on and went about my life and went to work and my life changed and I was okay. But, then I escaped domestic violence in the early 90s. To have groups and have women where you can Google or you can go into a Facebook group and find your peeps, find your tribe of other hurting people that have been through exactly what you've been through, that you don't have to come in and start explaining. It's just, I'm here. Like, we got you.
Yeah.
It's that.
And it's a safe place.
Safe place.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier, Andrew was saying how Facebook can be a negative place. Any social media can be negative, but it can be so positive if you tap in to your world and your community and stay there. Don't go over here. Don't go look at, there's a lot of negative anywhere. You can watch TV and totally get brought down, but it doesn't mean you don't turn off the TV. Watch what you want, control your control panel and tap in because we all need each other. My favorite book in the Bible is Noah's Ark because it's about 2 by 2. They journeyed onto the boat, the animals. I'm an animal lover. Having a theater with animals. But it's 4 by 4, 2 by 2. It's about being in partnership. Don't go it alone.
And Jim Rohn, right? Or, talked about like you are who you hang out with, right? You are the result of the books you read, the music you listen to, the movies you watch,
We're a
the social
computer up
media,
here.
right?
Info out, in, info out.
So control that, right? I mean, if you're going to live in that dark space, of course, what's going to be around you is darkness. And my friend Scott, he says garbage in, garbage out, but he says no, garbage in, garbage stays in.
Yeah.
He's like, it doesn't just come out. Like it gets in there and it like rots and gets all, he has a nice little
Right.
analogy, right? We got to go in and weed it, right? And saturate it. I saw this one TED Talk where there was they were talking about having weeds in a garden, and that you can plant the most beautiful roses, right? And it can be like fabulous, but if there are weeds in there, the weeds come in and they suck up and suck the energy and wrap up, and you have to remove the weeds. You can't just plant more roses.
You got to pull them from the roots.
You've got to remove the weeds in order to see the beauty, right, of that rose garden. You can't just, and I think a lot of times we think, okay, I can just put some good in, but you have to remove the weeds that are sucking up and holding you back you back. So,
and that's what that community is for, to help you remove the weeds, because you can't do those things alone. You can't, it's a struggle. And if you have other people that have been through whatever it is, can help you remove those weeds. So don't sit home thinking, oh gosh, I can't get rid of them. You can partner. It's definitely partner. And it's funny you said TED Talk. I forgot that you guys were talking about all of our events, because we're all speakers, got canceled. And I was going to be a TED Talk last month, and it got but at least it got rescheduled. So I'm going to be a TEDx speaker. Now it's going to be November 20th in Dupree Park. So I'm excited about that. So
I love it.
Reschedule, reset, pivot. I think we're all doing that right now.
We absolutely are. Aurea, how do you want people to get in touch with you?
The funnest and best place right now is on Instagram under Aurea McGarry Productions, and on YouTube under Aurea McGarry, because that's where I'm really pouring my energy into right now. But I'm everywhere under Aurea McGarry or Aurea McGarry Productions, and AureaMcGarry.com.
I love it. Okay, so I'm having my computer is possessed today.
Oh no.
Is Siri still answering you?
So it keeps wanting, Siri keeps popping in and thinking I'm talking to her. So I, spent 10 minutes before the show trying to figure out how to turn that off and get it away. I did. But now my iTunes keeps turning on, just randomly.
You need background music.
And I'm not touching anything.
Are they playing Dancing Queen?
No,
we can't hear it.
It keeps wanting to turn on, and I'm cancel it, quit it. And I'm I don't even know why.
What is it, your new monitor?
It's like it's voice activated. I'm saying something, or you're saying something, because sometimes it's when you guys are talking that turns it on. But of course, and I'm okay, quit. Not even maybe I should just.
We can't hear it on this side, so you're all right.
And pause it, or I don't know, but we're
not hearing
bizarre.
it. It's okay.
It's bizarre.
What is going on?
It is really bizarre, because it just is opening applications. It's just opening. Look, it just turned on again.
She's look.
Does that.
Right, and so it's this is Bill Walsh talking about something. I don't know what, but that's his
Maybe
voice.
we need to hear it. Put them on. No.
Right. It's just, I'm just gonna pause it, because every time, because it just keeps turning back on. I don't know. It's bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre. So
nobody go to Angel's house because our house is possessed.
My computer is possessed. It's just, it's we ended up, and I'm sure you all did, putting in a production studio in your home during this time, because we're all teleconferencing and Zooming and doing virtual events. And so we've changed the whole setup. But today's the first day that I've had that issue. So I don't know.
Thank goodness, because you just got done through Media Mastery this week.
I know we had our three-day virtual event. We did our boot camp in a 3-day virtual event. And last night, Tina sent dinner to my house, and I had Chinese food delivered, and I'm opening up my fortune cookie at the end, and it said, you're something about romance, and you're about to fall in love with something new.
Oh, I put that in there on purpose.
Did you? I told Jay, I said, I think I just fell in love with
fortune cookies. Oh my gosh, how fun.
Yeah, it was.
Tell me about the person behind those.
I love it. So yeah, I fell in love with this 3-day virtual event that we were able to somehow from all over the globe, because we even have Marina in from London.
Yep.
A gentleman who could not travel. He'd had surgery, he'd had heart surgery, recovering from heart surgery. He could be there. Tina, we talk about this, like people who couldn't traditionally come to some of your live events
are now
able to, right? They don't have to worry about a babysitter, taking out the dog, traveling, being away from family, commuting.
That part will stay. We'll do a lot more virtual going forward. Nobody's going to stop.
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it.
Y'all better invite me to this fun event.
Right. So we do.
Oh, you might be one of our next speakers, Aurea.
Yeah,
you and I need to have a little talk.
We do.
We are having our Connect Summit. We've been putting now on these virtual summits. The first one was a 2-day event. We've now shortened it to,
that almost took us out.
Yeah, we've now shortened them and doing them more often, but there are a lot of different ways to plug in, to have access, to build community. And that's really what this morning show has turned into, is a bright start to their day.
Really is. Do you have it on a podcast too? People can listen to it in the car now that people are starting to get out onto the road.
We were just gonna do it, Aurea.
Yes.
I designed originally to just be here.
2 weeks. And now we have our own Facebook page. We have 2 sponsors. We're going to be syndicated next week on ZTV, on Roku and Apple TV, and all of these other channels. We have our own coffee mugs, which I don't have mine today, but we have our own coffee mug. I mean, it has grown so much.
That's awesome. All right, well,
we were just going to do it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, keep me in the loop. Then I'll come back anytime you need me.
We will definitely.
I want to share it.
Yes.
I just found out about this week when you all invited me to come on, but now I want to get plugged in, share it. We'll combine, might be people that I know. I got a lot of friends and clients that may be good for you. Tell me what you're looking for on your show. And, because I know when you do it 5 days a week, you need, good talent and good, interesting stories. And after a while, that can get a little harder to find. So we'll all help you, whatever you need, tap in.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Doing great. You're doing great.
Tina's been a rock star. She controls the calendar, brings on all the guests, does all the behind the scenes, the posting, the coordination of all of it.
Organized. She always has been.
She is. She's so organized. I thought I was organized, but I've stepped away from that. And now I'm like, I need other organized people around me. And Tina has just been, and then she delivered me dinner after my boot camp, both nights.
And Starbucks
to kickstart the event. So it's like she was here, and it's been beautiful. It's been beautiful. But if anyone is looking to get more media exposure, to leverage the power of radio, television, magazines, podcasts, press releases, download your complimentary guide at makeyourbigimpact.com. That's makeyourbigimpact.com, right? Our nice little banner behind us. And we're going to send you a way to transform your media exposure in as little as 10 days. And next week, we're hosting how to write a press release workshop is coming up next week. And then our Connect Summit is coming up later on in the month.
June 23rd.
June 23rd.
I can't wait. I can't wait. We haven't announced our keynote speaker yet, so we need to do that.
I know.
June 23rd.
Yeah, we need to do that next week.
Is it 3 days?
It's June 23rd from 12 to 6 Eastern.
That's one day. It's just one day.
It's just one day.
Oh, it's the day before my daughter's birthday, so it's good. Okay.
Yes. So I am Tina Torres, your client retention expert, otherwise known as the gratitude specialist, where I teach you how to create clients for a lifetime, turn those clients into raving fans, and increase your cash flow without adding a single new client. And you can text the word connection to 26786 to receive your 7 ways to increase your cash flow. Right now, text the word connection to 26786. And if I'm going to put it in the comments below, I am speaking at 4:00 today with Jack Canfield, Les Brown, Evan Carmichael, Forbes Riley. The list goes on. At 4:00 today, I'll be speaking.
Eastern time.
Yes, Eastern.
Where's the tag for that? Put the tag.
So I will post the registration link in the comments below. Would love for you guys to join us. It is a 3-day event. It's called EasierLifeMastery.com. Amazing guests. We had Ryan and Cynthia on last week announcing this summit. So I'm so excited. And so thankful to Angel for getting me out there and pushing me out there. So now I have like all these names and I'm able to say, I have spoken on stage with.
Yes, you have.
Shared a stage with, spoken on stages with, right? Been featured on.
Been
and
featured on.
Yeah, look at her little, that was our little screenshot of all of those are Tina's.
ABC,
right?
NBC, Fox News, CBS, Apple TV, Roku. I have my
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Yes, yes.
So thank you guys so much. It is Friday. You guys are having a weekend this weekend, but it's not over. Register for that event today, 4 o'clock. It's all weekend long. And we will see you guys on Monday. Thank you guys for watching the Angel and Tina morning show. We'll see you guys next week, 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend.